this, I would start with Aweber, and there's links in there's links within the members area. If for those of you that take me up on my offer on a special deal with Aweber, okay, in the site. All right. So I just wanted to mention that because I was getting questions on that. All right. So that's step 7. In step 8, you want to demonstrate your knowledge. You want to demonstrate your knowledge. So here I've given you 3+ hours. That is, you want to write your first lesson or grab content from related Kindle books. Okay? Remember, it only needs to be 2 to 3 pages, but it needs to be solid, really meaty, and immediately actionable content. In fact, I would make the argument that the shorter the content, the better, because people, and you may know exactly what I'm talking about here, they get overwhelmed by too much stuff hitting them. They're like, oh no, there's no way I can get through this. But if you're sending them a 2 to 3 page document, or maybe a 5 or 7 minute audio, or maybe a 10-minute video, right? They're not going to get overwhelmed. If they're just getting one of these a week, they could just take the steps necessary. Now, we're talking about here our first lesson. Now, if you're writing that very first lesson, I suggest you start off with something called a quick start guide, all right? A quick start guide, because you want to make sure you do your level best to get your new subscriber some result, some promised result, as quickly as possible. Because the fact of the matter here is, as a content provider, your job, my job, anyone that's in this business job, it is to make sure that our customers are actually consuming what we are giving them, right? Because you may make that sale once, but if they're not actually getting benefit from what you're teaching them, all right, what you're providing to them, because they feel overwhelmed, they're not going to come back and buy from you again. Okay, the people that keep coming back over and over and over again are those people where they don't feel overwhelmed and they're actually doing what your product is intended to achieve, right? They're actually getting that same result. So again, quick start guide. Give them in that very first lesson, give them their very best, okay, the very quickest result you can, okay? All right, so as I say here, everyone wants to see results quickly, and if you can demonstrate how they can see results within the first 48 hours or first 7 days, they're going to be hooked into your training, okay? Very important. So let's talk a little bit more about demonstrating this and demonstrating your knowledge, your expertise, because it's important that your first lesson be some sort of overview lesson with, I think, a checklist for experienced folks to so that because you're going to have different levels of buyers. You're going to have some experienced people in your niche, whatever that niche is. You're going to have more beginner people, and you want something for both groups, okay? Both groups. So have a checklist for the experienced folks, and how they can get started quickly. And then you also want to get the beginners to visualize what it's all about and understand some hand-holding needs to go on here, okay, in that very first and even second and third lessons. Now, after doing this, all right, after creating that first lesson especially, you're going to upload all of this to your website, and then you're going to prepare to make things live for taking orders, okay? And that's done here in step 9 when you determine what your reoccurring billing is, okay? Also, the activity time here is about 60 minutes, okay? All right? And the 2 most popular options for processing your subscription orders, doing rebills automatically, are clickbank.com and paypal.com. Now, ClickBank has a $49 account fee and a slight waiting period for approval of your site. It's actually gotten a little longer because the FTC has kind of cracked down, or is looking to crack down on ClickBank, so it's taking a little longer for them to look at your site. But when you get your site approved through ClickBank, there is a level of assurance that you could have that your site is probably pretty much in compliance with the FTC, okay? Because they're really, again, they're looking at that very, very closely through ClickBank. But again, that's actually a good thing. It could be viewed as a good thing for you. Now, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to pay the fee to get your ClickBank account set up, you could actually do this for free with PayPal. And you can actually, if you're going to use PayPal, you could set up a subscription in PayPal and get this bad boy up and running almost immediately. Okay? All right. Now, in step 10, you're going to devote yourself to marketing. And okay, great. Malcolm is saying, yeah, we could see the current slide. Great. It should be slide number 9, I hope. Okay? Great. Okay, excellent. So here's apparently we cut off at slide number 9 here, or step 9 anyway, to determine, again, very quickly, this is where you're going to determine whether or what service you're going to use for reoccurring billing, either PayPal or ClickBank. Okay, that's what slide 9 here is all about, or step 9 is all about. And then you're going to set it up with one of those two services. Okay, in step 10, you're going to devote yourself to marketing. This is a big deal, all right, because you're going to need to devote yourself to marketing each and every day for here on, all right, because you're going to first want to test order the process, all right, make sure that everything goes through, make sure everything is working, and if it is, then you're going to start marketing that new fixed-term membership site, and you're going to want to begin with your own list in contacts, and then maybe you want to buy some ads, maybe some e-sign ads, pay-per-click ads, etc., and participate in some joint ventures, maybe do a blog tour, okay, that sort of stuff, right? All the same stuff that you would use to sell a Kindle book, you could use to sell a fixed-term membership site. I want you to understand that, okay? Now, again, total time here, it should be about 2 8-hour days. That's why I say you can get this done in 48 hours or less. And again, are you all seeing where it says what your customer experience is? You should see that right now, because here a visitor arrives at your fixed, because I want to make sure that you understand the process from the customer's point of view, okay, what they're going to be experiencing. Because if you understand what they're going to experiencing, it's so much easier for you to put that into effect, right? So here's what happens. Number one, a visitor arrives at your fixed-term membership site by whatever means. Maybe it's a joint venture. Maybe it's because you've done a Facebook ad, whatever. However they land there, they land there, right? That's where the marketing comes in. They read your sales page. They're interested. They're persuaded. They click the order link. That customer then says that, yes, I'm going to buy this bad boy, right? I want to become a member of this site. So she arrives at the order processing page and submits credit card details. When the order is confirmed, she is taken to your capture page. You remember what that was? That is the first page that your customer is going to see. That's where they're going to put in their name and email address, right? All right. The customer then puts in their their email address for weekly notifications or monthly notifications or bi-weekly notifications, however, whatever schedule you've got it set up for, all right? And then her subscription is processed and she is immediately taken to the download page for lesson number 1, okay? So there, she accesses the initial lesson from that download page, and then she also receives future downloads links to that email address via email each week. By the way, as I said a little earlier, not only is she landing on that download page, that thank you page, but she's also, because she just subscribed to your autoresponder, she's also getting an email message with that same link in it, okay? All right. And here, as I said earlier, you may actually want to take this down, all right, because this is a sample welcome email, okay? And you may want to take a picture of this, right? And I'll actually read it to you. The first line is the subject line, right? And I think that first bracket is really important, okay? Because every member email that you send out should have this bracket thing with that membership site, so that they know that if they see that in the subject line, the very first thing in the subject line, that it is paid content, that it's important content, right? So that's, and you tell them that. You tell them that on the download page that you're going to be getting this email. You also tell them in the first email here. I'll as I read it to you. Then you're going to put first name, your download link for lesson number 1, and then by the way, so what you see here, where it says first name, these are what are called mail merge codes. They're called short codes, and this one I believe is one off of Aweber. But depending on the service that you use, it's going to have its own separate merge code. But you could personalize your emails with these merge codes. So as you can see, this particular short code is first name _ fix, right? So it's going to be so everyone's first name is going to be put in there. Then the body of the email is going to read, hi, first name, welcome to membership XYZ, right? I'm thankful you've joined and look forward to sending you lessons week after week for the next year, or maybe it's every 2 weeks for the next 3 months. Whatever it is, you're going to fill in the blank there, all right? This is going to be fun and profitable. You can download your first lesson if you haven't already done so. Then, again, give them that link, wherever that happens to be. Then each week or every 2 weeks or whatever schedule you've got, I'll send you an email with a download link to the next lesson in the series. And this email will always include, really important, always include bracket membership site XYZ, whatever the name of your site is, so that they know in the subject line, right? So look for it. Also, you may want to whitelist wherever you're sending this from, right? Whatever email address they're sending it from, so that they know that or their service will know that if they're getting an email from this email address, that it's not spam. It should go directly to your inbox. All right, that's what whitelisting means. All right, and by the way, then you're going to say, enjoy the first lesson. See you in 7 days, or see you in 14 days, or however long you've got, as a period for your content. All right. And then best regards, my name here. And then if you'd like to become a membership site XYZ affiliate, please visit, and then have that link if you have an affiliate program, which, by the way, you should have an affiliate program. And also, that's one of the great reasons to use ClickBank, okay? Because you essentially have an instant affiliate program that you could use to sell your membership site, where your members can use it to sell to sell your site for you. Okay. Now let's talk about weekly maintenance. Weekly maintenance, because once you have launched your site, you need to do the following to keep it maintained. Okay. Luckily, this should not take you any more than about 3 hours per week to do this, to keep it rolling. So you're going to need to write a new lesson and load it to your autoresponder. So every week you'll want to continue adding content to your autoresponder sequence for as long as you have it have the training planned for. In other words, is it 3 months, 6 months, etc. I recommend that you write as many of these in advance as you can. Okay, like if it's 2 articles per week, you might want to get the first month or so lined up. All right, just have that lined up, because if something happens to you, if you get sick or whatever, you already have that covered. Okay. Then you will create an accompanying download page for each lesson, and your autoresponder email will direct that subscriber to the next download page, right? So the first lesson went to download page number 1. That's where they were able to download their very first lesson. The next autoresponder message that they get is going to send them to a completely different page, okay, where they can download that autoresponder lesson. And by the way, if you're doing this on a static website, okay, if you're doing this on a static website, change the nomenclature. You know, make them sort of goofy prefixes, goofy file extensions, so people can't figure out where the next lesson's coming from. Right? All right. All right. By the way, I will be taking your questions. I wanted to give you the broad overview here. I just so that you know, I will be taking your questions in due course, and try to put a finer point on this with all of your questions. So fear not. Fear not. All right. Now, the other thing you're going to do as you make orders here is you're probably going to have people that cancel. So you're going to want to go in every week and remove your canceled subscribers from your autoresponder, so that they're not going to get the content without paying for it, right? You cut them off. Then you're going to improve your fixed-term membership site based on weekly learning. In my opinion, you should spend at least an hour every week learning or mastering some new marketing strategy to help you promote your fixed-term membership site. Okay? Now, if you promote your fixed-term membership site, you're going to get new subscribers. And I think that you need to spend at least 15 minutes every day, consistently, in promoting your new fixed-term membership site, actually implementing any new marketing that you're learning along the way. This is all about consistency, folks. All right? Doing something every day, even if it's a little bit, even if it's 10, 15 minutes, but getting something done every day to move that ball forward in getting your membership site sold, right? All right. All right. Now, I want to make sure that you and I don't have that we are all sort of in alignment on this, because the content, although it can start as being Kindle content, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. All right, and I want to give you some ideas here on what you could do. In fact, I'm going to give you a couple of case studies, because it could be something that you create collaboratively with somebody else, or it could be a modification of something that already exists. So let me give you my first case study here. I have a fixed-term membership site. It's actually no longer a fixed-term membership site, but for many years it was a fixed-term membership site. And it was called Six Figure Adjunct. Okay, and when I first started it, this actually was a training that was delivered for 6 months every 2 weeks. Okay, Every 2 weeks. These lessons were